Sorry, guys.
It's now on.
All right. We'll try not to screw you up again. Hello, Bennett Zarofsky.
Hello, Blue Jersey. I'm Bennett Zarofsky. I'm an attorney from Newark. I'm down in Trenton today because I just finished arguing before the Honorable Mary Jacobson of the Superior Court Chancery Division, seeking an injunction against the New Jersey State Police and the Department of Military and Veteran Affairs to stop them from harassing the demonstrators in Occupy Trenton.
What day did they do that?
Well, they've been doing it ever since the demonstration started on October 7th. My only regret is that we weren't able to get here sooner.
And, hi, Edward.
Hi, I'm Edward Anthony. I'm intellectual on the chat. Hello, Blue Jersey.
And you've pretty much been there 24 hours sometimes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm one of the occupants with Occupy Trenton.
That's right.
And I was just down here to in support of our legal team as they were defending our freedom of speech and right to peaceful assembly.
Thank you. Hi, Morning Light.
Morning Light. Hi.
And if you're reading the chat or watching the live feed, this is Morning Light. Morning Light, where do you live?
Where do I live?
Where do you live?
I own a home in Jackson, which actually we were just fortunate enough to sell, actually.
Okay.
One of the few out there that is selling, but...
Economic troubles all over, right?
I'm sorry, what?
Economic troubles all over?
Well, you know, big homes aren't selling very much right now, but we were fortunate to get rid of it.
Boo, you 1%.
And here's another member of the legal team. Hi.
Hi, Blue Jersey. David Perry Davis. I'm an attorney from Pennington. Not much of a trek from Trenton, right next door. Helped out with the pounds of paperwork that preceded our appearance today, and had the honor of writing some notes to Bennett, although I think he'd hit them all, even if I hadn't given him the notes. As far as what just happened in there, to keep away from legalese, I would say that the point was made very strongly that in the United States, we have criminal laws that say what you can and can't do, and that for the state to go beyond those and add additional restrictions because they don't like that the Occupy movement is growing, violates the Constitution, which is one of the things we will keep after the revolution.
Okay. And hi there.
Hi, I'm Steve Guy. I'm on chat. I'm JFKFC, and I'm here to support my friends here at Occupy New Jersey, Trenton. And I don't know, I had a fun time here at the hearing. It was very interesting stuff. Y'all could have seen it. It's very well handled by our legal team, and I'll see you on live stream at Occupy NJ New Jersey. Yes.
Spelled out.
Spelled out.
Spelled out.
.org, right?
.org.
OccupyNewJersey.org. And you are Khalif, right?
Yes, I'm Khalif Russell. I'm a supporter of the occupation, and it was just one thing that really ticked me off when they were talking, the lawyer's arrogance in stating how oh, that's state property, the state pays that bill, but our taxes pay the state. So
You're speaking about the lawyer from the state of New Jersey.
yeah. So really, honestly, in a sense, I'm his boss as well. You know what I mean? Because he's supposed to be defending us. You know what I mean? Because the money came from the people.
That's right.
So where does he get off trying to tell someone that they can't be at the park? You know what I mean? And a peaceful protest at a World War II memorial park, which what they fought for was this.
That was one of the most interesting points that was made, is these are the principles that the veterans fought for.
Yeah, they fought and died.
And died for.
I'm a veteran, and I'm in the brethren, and I guess and the sisterhood of those who fought and died, and this is exactly what they fought and died for, is to have these kind of freedoms, and to watch somebody from the state get up and say, well, it's a veterans park, rubbed me the wrong way as well.
Yeah. And Alex, you're Alexander Higgins, and this suit was in your name, right?
Actually, there was two plaintiffs. There was me as an independent journalist, because I do work as a freelance journalist and a blogger. That's my main source of income. And I also signed on behalf of Occupy Trenton because their rights were violated as well. Many who are going to watch this video don't know exactly why we're here, because it was requested not to put our legal stuff online until everything was filed and we were here. But there's basically 4 violations of the Constitution at play here. There's freedom of press, again, me being a freelance journalist, and the occupation down there running the live stream. There's the violation of our due process, freedom of assembly, and on top of that, illegal search and seizure, and those are, 4 basic inalienable rights that our forefathers died for, and as was just pointed out, the veterans in World War II, fighting against a fascist dictatorship, making sure that that kind of rule of law didn't come here to America, and in my opinion, that's what we're seeing here. When you have a government that steps in and they listen to what the corporate and special interest string pullers working behind the scenes tell them to do, and do that outside of the color of the law, that's a dictatorship. And by definition, because these orders are coming from special interests and corporations, that's fascism. And everybody out there watching, you need to get out on the streets and protect our Constitution, protect our rights, or we're not going to have them anymore.
Alex, that was a bus, by the way. Alex, I wanted to ask you very briefly what happened a few days ago when your computers were taken. Then I want to switch over to Bennett, talk a little bit about the nature of what's going on at Occupy.
Well, basically there was a build-up to that day with the police, as they stated themselves in court today. They were trying to impose regulations that they just made up out of thin air outside of the law. Beginning with orders to remove certain items that were considered permanent structures, then graduating that into removing items of permanence, and over a series of 24 to 48 hours, that finally developed into them saying everything had to go. And then basically the police came out, contrary to the argument that the state just made over there, they took everything. They took everything on that site. They took all kinds of stuff. They took pamphlets, they took flyers, they took protest signs, they took computer equipment, cables,
clothing,
jackets, bags, backpacks, food, everything that we had out there, they confiscated. The state also argued that the items that they took were trash, and they had no idea who had ownership over them. And that's a bunch of hogwash as well, because as they were taking these things, myself and Justin Phillips were recording them, walking behind them, and saying on the live stream, as the whole world watched, now they're taking our computers, they're taking our bins, they're taking our flyers now. So they knew whose property that was. They saw whose property it was when they first came onto the property, and it's just an attempt by an overbearing government to silence our expression of free speech.
And Bennett, one of the most interesting things that happened, if you back up a little bit, is that you made the argument that the very nature of Occupy means being present, and certain things are needed for being present, and that's what they took, and certain things are needed for recording the experience and communicating to the outside, and those things were also taken. If you could talk a little bit about that concept.
Well, the state was arguing a very narrow definition of what free speech means, like what we're saying now in quiet conversation, or holding a sign, or writing something, or maybe a transmission. But the expressive activity, part of it is the fact of occupying, the fact of standing there and waiting until these issues are addressed directly across the street from the State House, where the governor has his office and where the legislature also does its work. And that part of the expression is being there all the time and staying there and making the issue something that the people who go to that building are going to be reminded of every time they go to that building.
Because where the occupiers are is directly across the street under the overhang of the Veterans Memorial, directly across the street from the State House.
It's not under an overhang, they're exposed to the open air.
True.
It's not an overhang. The memorial is erected in what has been a park from time immemorial. I know I told the judge that when I went down to Trenton with my 5th grade class, I remember the park being there. I think that's where the teacher met with us, and I think we may have actually had our picnic lunch there, but I don't think I mentioned that to the judge. It's been there